Since 1965, Rancho Water has been more than just a water provider. We've been a part of this vibrant community. These interviews celebrate the journeys of people who have grown with us and share Rancho Water's dedication to sustaining and enriching this dynamic region.
So I was born and raised here. My parents moved here right around 1989, and they had me and my 3 other brothers, and I've been here ever since.
When I moved to Murrieta in 1976, we were just a small town, and so were our neighboring cities.
Been in Murrieta all my life. My dad's side of the family, 1930s here, and my mom's side of the family from the late 1870s on. So Murrieta has a whole history of water. The original advertisement for Murrieta from the 1880s was cheap water. You could have a well 15 to 25 feet deep here. A lot of agriculture. Recreation-wise, there wasn't much here. It was dry all the time I was growing up. Lake Elsinore was actually dry during the late 1950s into the mid-1960s.
Well, when we first moved here, there really wasn't much here. So you found yourself traveling down the freeway all the time, either to Escondido or to Riverside, to go to the mall, to do just about anything. In the 34 years I've been here, literally everything is in Temecula now. You don't have to leave Temecula for anything.
We came out here and there was one winery on Di Portola, and then just the boom in the whole wine industry in the 2000s, and the rest is history.
In terms of growth and development, the changes have just been astounding. And we live on Di Portola, the Di Portola Wine Trail, which originally had maybe 1 or 2 cars coming every 5 or 10 minutes. Now, limo, 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 limo. It's just been expansive, and it's in a lot of ways really good, but I think also it's forced measured growth opportunities by our Planning Commission, and I think that's really a good thing.
Oh, the hospital wasn't there. There were a few stores. There was Pechanga Parkway with a little grocery store, and there really was nothing until you got to Margarita, Red Hawk area.
We used to ride dirt bikes and pretty much do anything on this open land, and there were no house. The expansion of homes and businesses has really been a centerpiece of the growth of this town.
We would visit on the weekends Bale Lake, which was a beautiful lake, and they had a main pool that had a slide, and it was just a great way to be outdoors and meet other young kids my age.
Temecula has changed immensely in my 33 years here. Originally, there wasn't even a mall in our area. We didn't have any auto centers with all the cars. So it's changed. It's gotten much bigger throughout the years, more development, and a lot more people as well. And the interesting thing about Temecula is, even though it's getting bigger in population size, it still has that small town, family-oriented feel.
That's what creates life. Without water, you ain't going, it ain't happening. So just the history of water in our valley is quite interesting because of the fact that this was a desert. Water means development, really. And so without it, you can't do it.
Just the whole design concept of Temecula has been made possible by a reliable source of water. And as we move to recycle water, even further to cement the ability to keep those amenities in place over time.
The role of water for a vineyard owner is completely the top priority in a lot of ways. The quality of water, the affordability of water, the reliability of water, all are just super important to farmers.
Not being involved in water, you just think that water is just always there. You just think you turn on the faucet and it's gonna be there. As you get more into using water and water bills, higher water bills like you get when you're farming avocados or wine grapes, I think you just get thrown into the fact that I need to do a little bit more research. I need to understand water more. It's a complex thing. It's not as easy as just turning on the tap.
Water is critical, especially for the development of wine country. It's very important for the economics of winemaking that the water supply be as economical and reliable as possible.
Seems like we're getting our water all at one time. It seems to rain and we're hearing about these atmospheric rivers. I think we need to really look at how we're storing water. and having reserves that we can put the water that's coming down in buckets. We know that conserving water isn't the only thing we need to do. We also need to store the water.
Yeah, the VDC project is very important because what we're going to do is purchase imported water, but at an untreated water rate. So it's significantly less costly than the treated water that we would buy through Metropolitan Water District. So we'll get it at the lowest cost we can, and then we'll take that water and percolate it into the groundwater basin. And then we're developing wells to extract that water from the groundwater supply and boost it into the distribution system for Rancho Water District. So it's very cost effective.
I think it's important to start to look at ag and urban on equal footings. I think because Rancho California Water District represents segments that not a lot of other agencies are able to represent. We have farmers, we have equestrian folks, we have commercial, we have retail, and we have, of course, our own ratepayers. All of those things are like little microcosms of what the entire state is facing. And so I think we're really poised to be able to reflect the priorities of all those different segments.
And we're one of the few agencies that can do this, that we have such a large groundwater basin that we can percolate a significant amount of imported water in at a low cost.
We have a lot of development going on in Temecula. Housing is a huge topic in our area. We have a lot of housing developments coming. But most importantly, we have a lot of infrastructure coming as well. We have the French Valley Phase 2 that's going to be completed later this year that should ease traffic. So even with all the development, the new housing, the new commercial areas coming, we want to make sure that we have the roads and the infrastructure to include water in place to make sure it's a great place for our residents to live.